Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening if you're watching from Asia or Australia. Welcome to the yard. Daniel Batal, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, doing pretty good today, Dee. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to get in to do some channel reviews today. We did this last month, and it was a huge success. We helped out a lot of people to get their channels tweaked and going in the right direction. We're going to do the exact same thing today. So for everyone in the chat right now, the way this is going to work, we're just going to randomly pull people out of the chat. We're going to pull your channel up. We're going to give you some advice and things that you can do better, get your packaging together, help you with your value proposition, whatever it is that you need help with. If you are looking for specific feedback, though, let us know, right? Like say, hey, can you look at my thumbnails? Hey, can you look at my channel art? If you're looking for specific advice. And by the way, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, right? Because we want to get this thing going. Share this out if you have Twitter, if you have Facebook. Share this stream out. Let everybody know we're doing channel reviews. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it.
Yeah, right on. Let's do it. So listen, I see someone right here in the chat who's actually, and I was doing some work on my channel, helping people get their channel out together, and he had asked to get, I let him know we were going to be here today, and that's Illuminati Guy. Let me see if I can find his channel quickly and get him pulled up.
Awesome.
All right.
Heidi, how you doing? Nice to see you in here. Sam, how you doing? The gang's showing up. I love it when the community all comes together.
Yeah, I know.
And by the way, so
nice
in case you guys don't know, because I know there's going to be some of you coming over here who might not be live streaming with StreamYard yet. This is obviously the StreamYard YouTube channel. We are streaming on the StreamYard live streaming platform. This is the best way to get up and to get live streaming, especially if you don't have any experience with live streaming and you're intimidated by all of the gear and setting everything up. This is the easiest way to do it. And we've got a link right underneath this video, right underneath this live stream, to where you can click on that and sign up for StreamYard, and you can use it for free.
Hey, share the screen over, Dee. Let me see if I can find them. Some of your channels, there used to be a time when we could just pull your channels directly from the link in the chat, but they don't let us do that anymore on YouTube. And it's one of the things that's been a real pain in the butt. It's harder for us to find some channels. I'm looking for your avatar here.
There
which
it is.
There you are.
No.
Perfect. Yeah, that's him right here. Illuminati Guy. Good, I got you. Oh, let me kill that. All right, Dee, what do you think about this? What do you think about this at a glance?
Well, I love that he has the symbol up in the corner, that Illuminati triangle thing. It looks intriguing. Like, I don't know exactly what he's doing on his channel. I don't know what is he going to expose the Illuminati? Is he going to talk about conspiracy? Is he going to talk about what the Illuminati is? I would like some sort of clarification to let me know what I'm getting into. But I love the imagery. The imagery is awesome.
Yeah, the one thing I always say, we talked about this the other day, we were talking about channel art. This goes for everybody out there. When you think about your channels, messaging is so important. Your homepage is like your storefront. So when people come and they just land on your channel, this is your one chance to make it clear what your channel is, what it's about, who the target audience is, why they should watch. So while the imagery is pretty cool and just the word Illuminati brings some things to mind about what it could potentially be about, I don't see your channel name up in the channel art. I don't see any value proposition in there. It doesn't describe to me what I can expect to see when I would come to this channel, why I should come back. I noticed in the upper right, you're doing things like you've got the welcome to the channel now up in the channel art. You've got, now go to Instagram. If you're a small channel, you're only just under a couple hundred subscribers. That's great growth, though, by the way. I mean, anyone who can get a single subscriber, I think, is a winner.
Yes.
Yes. When you're trying to grow a channel, really think about keeping the viewer on platform for now. As you grow, you can do things like putting your Instagram links and whatever other links you might have down in places like the descriptions of your videos, so that people who are really interested in finding out more about you and finding you on other platforms and social media sites can do that. But for now, let's really focus on getting a channel name up there. Let's get the channel's value proposition up there, and let's think about how you can do something that really helps the viewer understand why they would want to become invested in this channel. I'm looking at the title names: YouTube meme, rewind, Illuminati, or roasts. I want to say this. So I want to say something real quick. So everybody in the chat right now who's watching us review this channel,
everything that we say on all of these channels can probably also apply to your channel. So it doesn't matter what niche you're in. We're going to go through some best practices that apply to everyone. And one of the things I do want to draw attention to that a lot of people are doing when they first get started, like Daniel said, you know, you have the Instagram link up there and you have some other links out. If you're new, your goal is to get people to just dive into your content, try to get them to binge watch your content, one video after the other. Don't give them any opportunity when you're new, when you're starting out and you're trying to build that channel momentum. Don't give them the opportunity to click away and actually leave YouTube. You're doing the exact opposite of what YouTube wants you to do. So remove anything that actually takes them off platform while you're new and you're trying to build up that channel momentum.
Yeah, I'm trying to, reorder these by most popular to see if any of these have really gained some traction. It looks like there's some roasting going on, and it might be some kind of a prank thing happening. Here's my big advice to you, my friend. Everyone out there, when you're building a channel, especially when you're trying to find your feet, think about developing a strong value proposition. That's a simple sentence that should answer what your channel's about, the niche, who the target audience is, why they should watch. If you can do that, it'll help you decide how your channel art should look, how your thumbnail should look, the type of titles that you should have in your content. Right now, it looks like you're testing things out. This roasting thing seems to be the highest amount of views. If these are actually organic views, I wouldn't know, but I'm going to say they are. Let's go with the idea that they are. It seems like when you're doing some roasting or pranking, things have kind of worked for you. Pranks is the number 2. You've got the JK Vines. It's a little scattered, though. It's hard for me to understand what this is. If it's a prank channel, then that's what it is. Then make that clear and make it more specific. It's very hard to understand what the JK Vines is. That's a redundant title you have happening on all of these things, as if we should know what that is. And if I'm a new viewer, I don't know what that is yet. So you would need to explain these titles and make sure that they're connecting in a way that I can look at them at a glance and go, oh, that's what that is. I want to watch.
Yeah, I agree with that. It seems like there's a big disconnect. Like I was thinking Illuminati Guy. I was thinking, okay, we're going to dig into some stuff here. And it's just the content is not matching up with that at all for me.
Yeah, so messaging. Make sure you understand who you're trying to reach, the value you provide, and make that clear from the minute I land on your channel. That will really help grow your channel more effectively. I'm glancing back in the chat over here. Let me see who else might have asked for
messaging and packaging. Packaging is so important. Messaging and packaging.
Yep. That's all of it. Let's see. There's a question right there where CBD Headquarters asked, Daniel, did you use software for that new background? No, I didn't. Yeah, it's all green screen, and I filmed it in Filmora and put it back up there.
You'll get that question a lot. So if you have an interesting background, you'll find a lot of people will say, hey, can I have the picture that you're using in your background? It's like, no, I mean, obviously this is just a wall, but for you, it's like, yeah, I actually built that.
There's a question from the chat that it was from Marcus Cepellis asked, what's the most important thing visually in the first, in the first 30 seconds of the video? What's the most important thing visually in the first 30 seconds of the video? I don't know that there's any specific correct answer for that, for what the right thing visually in the first 30 seconds of the video is. I can tell you structurally and content-wise, the most important thing in the first 10 seconds of the video is to reaffirm the value of whatever that video is and get right to the content. If you're doing a video that's talking about, pick the subject. If you're showing people how to build a diamond pickaxe in Minecraft, the minute you start that video, it should get right into, have you ever, something that says like, are you looking to try to figure out how to build or find a diamond pickaxe in Minecraft? Well, today I'm going to show you a couple of tricks so you can achieve that quickly, and then get right to it. A lot of times people, they start fluctuating and they do these long intros and they do all this graphic stuff thinking, oh, I've got to make it look like a television show with a big intro. But viewers are there because they saw something in the packaging, in the title and the thumbnail that said, oh, I want to watch that. I want to learn that. I think that might be funny. That might be interesting, or whatever that case may be, whatever the value is. Get to the value quickly, reaffirm the value, and then get right to it.
Daniel, a question that I've been hearing a ton on Clubhouse when you go into the YouTube room, so many people are asking about intros. How long should my intro be? Should I have an intro? Daniel, do you have an intro?
I do not.
I don't either. I don't either. And I know Nick won. Hey, Nick, how's it going? Nick's
Good to see you,
in
Nick.
the chat. I know at one point Nick did have one, but I believe he removed it. And it's something to keep in mind that if you are going to have an intro, keep it as short as possible. No one is there to look at your intro. That's not why they clicked on your thumbnail. So keep it short if you are going to use one at all. And if you want to find out if it's working or not, or if it's scaring people away, you can go in and look at your audience retention. You can see the graph, and you can line that graph up with where people are actually dropping off. And if it's happening during your intro, lose the intro. That means people they're not enjoying your intro when they're leaving.
Yeah. And, intentionality is important. And that's not just for intros or structure of your content. It's right across your entire channel. Make sure everything you do, from putting links up in your channel art to the way you're laying out your homepage, to the way you're designing your thumbnails, the way you're putting together your titles to match those thumbnails or complement each other so that those two work together well. Be intentional. Like I don't have an intro, but I do have like a 2.8 second CTA, call to action, because I tend to do videos where I'll show like a big magic trick. I'll show someone how to do something with editing software, and then I have a transition where I go over to actually getting into the software, and I use a bumper that says, basically like, hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell to be part of the conversation, and boom, it goes right back into screen shares of me actually showing the software. So I use it as a soft transition point to get me to the next chapter of what I'm trying to show. So, but it's intentional and it's very short.
Intentionality is key.
Yep.
Who's up next?
Let me see. I'm looking at, let me see if I can pull up. Let's see. CBD Headquarters. Let me pull them up because they added text to their banner to tell the audience what the channel's about. Let's take a look. Can you pull that screen up on? Can you pull the share screen? And it's CBD Headquarters. Anybody who's looking to have their channel taken a look at, just politely message, just drop it in the chat, and we'll pull you up.
Yep. We're going to get through as many of them as we can today. And if you want us to pull us up, just let us know. Hey, can you look at my channel? Or if there's something specific that you want us to look at, hey, can you pull up my channel and look at my thumbnails, for example? And we're just randomly pulling them out of the chat. Okay.
So here we have CBD Headquarters, everything about CBD. Okay, here's the thing I like. I like that I'm assuming that's you. That's your image right there. If you're in the video and that's you, I love that you're right there on the in the channel art, so I can recognize a face, even with the sunglasses on. I can recognize that may be the person I'm going to see in the video. So that's a good branding element. I think a lot of times you've got kind of two things going on. You've got the little crab, which is probably, this may be a business as well, because you definitely have some branding play like a logo as well as your face. But I like that it says everything about CBD, benefits, reviews, best finds and practices. So I like the value is very easy for me to understand. Everything very about clear. CBD. Yeah, I get it right away. The only other thing I'd say is I think you've got it cropped just right, and you'd be able to tell me. It looks like what you have is probably it's probably somewhere. It's right in here, right? It's just double check it on mobile. It looks like you have this cropped pretty well, so this is pretty much what you see on mobile. If that's the case, what I would probably do is slide your logo over a little bit here, and I probably would just put in smaller font, CBD Headquarters, everything about CBD, all right? Because I like seeing the channel name up here, because even though it's right here listed below, I like to see it up in the channel art, so that sort of encompasses everything. Name of the channel, give me the image, give me the value prop. I like almost everything you have going on here. I think it feels smooth. I see some. Oh, the other thing I would say is up here. Let's look at it this way. Putting this subscribe button up here is not clickable, and you have a clickable one that's right here. Assuming that you've done an auto subscribe link, I would have said the arrow should have gone down to that link, right? So if you're going to put that in your desktop where you can view it, put that subscribe for more, whatever you want to put. The font that you're using here is a little hard to read, so it's a little hard to read here. It's probably even more difficult to read on turn on notifications for updates. I get that, but the font is a little awkward. I would make it a little more readable, and then make an arrow that would point down to the clickable link if that's what you're doing. The other thing I say as well, you've got under 1,000 subscribers, and you're doing that thing that I talk about, intentionality. YouTube wants us to bring people to the platform, get them watching, keep them watching. People come to your channel, and if these links do what they're supposed to, you're like, thanks for coming to my channel. Now go to Twitter. Now go to Facebook. Now go to Instagram. It's like Dee said, save that stuff for when you get a little bigger, or use it in the descriptions of your videos. What are your thoughts, Dee?
I love how it tells me everything about CBD. I absolutely love that. From a graphic standpoint, that being said, from a graphic standpoint, I think it's a little bit busy. If this were my channel, I would lose your logo over on the left. I would definitely remove the subscribe button, because when you're making graphics, you want to think about how you want to lead the viewer's eyes to things of importance. And what you've done is you've created a funnel with your text dead center, everything about CBD, and then it gets a little bit smaller: benefits, reviews, best finds, and practices, and then it gets smaller: new uploads weekly. You've just led my eyes right to new uploads weekly. So you need to be mindful about how you lay that stuff out, because that's where my eyes go, right?
Yeah.
Your eyes go right to it, and you're putting all this stuff on the side, and it's all these things are competing for attention. So you need to be intentional about where you want people's eyes to go. And right now you're leading them down to new upload weekly, while also adding a bunch of stuff on the side that can make it a little bit confusing. So I think you could clean this up a little bit, but the messaging is on point.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of messaging, but Dee always has a great eye for actually balancing out art and making sure channel art looks like something. Let's scroll quickly just to see you got featured content. That's great. I'm going to tell you the thing that I tell everybody. People, pay attention. Uploads is a default playlist that YouTube gives you when you first start a YouTube channel. If you do nothing to customize your channel, you'll just have uploads, and it'll start stacking your videos there, newest after newest after newest as they publish. Things like playlists can be surfaced in search. Entire playlists can show up in people's homepage if they've interacted and have some of your content in their recent watch history. So one of the things you want to think about is use your homepage. You've got created playlists, popular uploads. It's all this stuff that really isn't optimized for the viewer. You'd be much better off making curated playlists that said things like the benefits of CBD oil for body pain, right? And then maybe you had a bunch of videos that talked about that.
You know what I would do here for someone like me who's not, I don't know a lot about CBD, but I've heard about it. I've heard about the health benefits of it. For me, I would love to land on that first playlist that says new to CBD, start here. And then you just walk me through the basics of everything I need to know, video after video, to bring me up to speed so I know what CBD is, so that I can consume the rest of your content and it all makes sense. And then curate the rest of those playlists going down.
Right. That's a great advice. And like Dee was saying, like trying to think about, the clutter and not looking cluttered. Think about, again, like I said, if your homepage, if your homepage is like your storefront, it's your first great impression when someone goes, let me check out this channel, and they scroll down. If this was your storefront, things like uploads, created playlists would be like taking the displays in your storefront, grabbing all the boxes of inventory and just stuffing it up there, and not even trying to set it up and take it out of the box. You're just sticking them there. So let's be really intentional about the way we put things together, create playlists that have strong titles and descriptions, just like a video would. And then let's make sure that the content in those playlists are built in a way that they make a lot of sense together and are relevant to each other. So once someone starts down the funnel, like Dee said, new to CBD, start here, right? And then someone could go, maybe your first video was, what is CBD? And then another one is, what are the benefits of using CBD? Are there different types of CBD? And you can sort of make that playlist that would walk them through in a very intentional way, that if someone's watching one, it would lead to the next, it would lead to the next. And it creates this view funnel, because the entire goal of building a channel is really making sure that our content is always recommending more content. Our number one goal on YouTube is making strong content that has a very easy to spot value to the viewer, and that brings the viewer into your channel and makes them want to watch more of your content. So that's what we're trying to build, is not just throw singular videos up. We're trying to build a catalog that works well together.
Yeah, I love that. So let's take that first playlist, for example. Just like Daniel said, everything new to CBD, start here. For that playlist, I would lay that out in order that they should watch it. However, for additional playlists, I would order them by order of video performance, right? Because those are proven winners, right? So I like to put my most popular videos, I like to front load those, so when somebody lands on my homepage, they can look at those videos, and it's all these popular videos with lots of views. I know they bring me a lot of watch time. They got a high click-through rate on the thumbnail. They're proven performers. So in the first video, I would order them in a way that makes sense for people to watch them, but on the others, I would order them in order of performance.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let me try another one here. We've got a request from, I'm gonna butcher your name, and I'm gonna apologize in advance. It looks like Matt I'm gonna get it wrong. Keto and wrestling. Well, there's a combination. I've
been telling him forever on this one. I've been telling every time he comes up, I'm like, that's quite a combo you got there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, pancakes and ketchup. I love it. But I think I understand why that would be why they connect, because I know with wrestling it's a lot about trying to hit your weight goals so that you can do that. So it makes a lot of sense. Okay, step number 1. Let's review. Everybody, I want everybody to get your mind out of, take a look at my own channel, and I want you to think about, help me here and see if you can see the things that Dee and I are seeing. When you look at that channel art, if you didn't know the name of the channel, if you didn't know anything about the kind of content that was on that channel, does this channel art scream keto type of diet and wrestling?
No, there's a big disconnect here. It looks like you're hitting the weights in the gym, which is part of wrestling, which is part of, everything you have to do. You have to be lean, you have to be fit, but it doesn't have anything to do with keto.
Yeah. And I think that the thing is, if you're going to stay on this path, keto, and if your entire channel is devoted to helping people achieve their wrestling weigh-ins or weight goals, that may be it. That may be the whole thing you're talking about. And I'm not sure what the value proposition, because the channel doesn't explain that to me when I land on it. I don't see your name up there. If you've got yourself in the channel avatar, which is cool, but I'd like to see a picture of you up in the channel art. I'd like to see the name of the channel, but more predominantly, the thing I should see the most of is the value. Tell me what it is, if this is helping wrestlers meet their weigh-in goals, right? Or something like that. Then you go, okay, well, that's what this channel does. You could phrase that better. But then right down here in the channel art, the same thing we talked about, you've got it stuffed with welcome to my channel. Now please leave and go to Instagram, go to Facebook, go to Twitter, you're sending them everywhere. Be intentional. If people click those, they're going to leave the channel. What you're trying to do really is grow the channel. So I would be strategic. I'd put an auto subscribe link up there. And then I would probably put, if you have a website or something that's a sales funnel that drives some revenue to your pocket, yeah, definitely do that. Because I'm not afraid of putting a different link in a channel art. If I know, if people click it, it does technically send them off platform, but in return, I'm making more money. So there's intentionality. Okay.
Love that.
Once again, popular uploads. Let's get right into the things. Start talking about what is keto and how does it help wrestlers, right? That's the playlist I want to see. Explain to me, start drawing the parallels to the two things, because I'm seeing sugar-free diet doesn't mean keto. Catalina Crunch keto cereal. I got to be honest with you. I'm seeing a lot of keto. I'm not seeing a lot of wrestling right off the bat from the uploads. Let me just switch over to videos. I want to make sure that you're not fragmenting your audience in a way where you're trying to shoehorn two passions in your life together. Is it a wrestling channel that happens to teach people how to meet their weigh-ins, but also does a bunch of other stuff? Or is it a keto diet channel that just happens to come from the perspective of a wrestler?
It looks like they've got some wrestling videos, but it doesn't look like they're related to diet.
Yeah, but this looks... No, but I'm seeing like WWE.
Right, that's what I mean.
So if you're a wrestler, that's one thing. But if it's just like, I love dieting and I love wrestling, you're going to turn people off, because people who are there, it's called fragmenting your audience. If you make a really great, hey, keto bagels only in 4 great ingredients. If I'm someone who's way into keto diets and I go, that's awesome. I'm on a keto diet. I can make keto bagels. Let me click this and watch it. If they watch it, and then next week you put out the AEW Dynamite live stream post show,
Hulkamania 47.
Hulk, right? We're not laughing at you. It's just the disconnect. What happens is YouTube tries to serve that Hulkamania video to the people who were enjoying the keto bagel video, and those people go, I was just here for the keto recipes, and they don't click.
Matt says, yes, it's WWE and keto.
Yeah, Matt. Okay.
I've been telling him.
You got to make a choice here, pal. You're fragmenting your audience, like I'm saying. Every time you put out a different type of video that only serves a very specific audience, you're fragmenting, and YouTube is going to struggle to figure out the right audience for your channel, because you keep sending them in different directions. You keep telling YouTube, what do you want for dinner? I want Chinese. They go to order Chinese, and you say, no, I changed my mind. I want McDonald's. They start driving to McDonald's. You go, no, I want Chinese. You keep sending people in different directions. Get into one lane and stay in that lane.
Let me give you a little personal tidbit here. So Matt has been a very an awesome community member. He's been a supporter of my channel from the very beginning. Do you want to know why I've never subscribed to his channel? Because I had no interest in wrestling. I'm very interested in learning about the keto diet and all the health benefits and how you can use it to lose weight. Totally interested in that, but I never subscribed to his channel despite him being a very supportive member of mine because I have no interest in wrestling whatsoever. None, zero.
Yeah.
It's a turnoff, actually.
Yeah.
No offense, Matt, but it's I'm just not into both.
Don't take that the wrong way. Is that alignment? And you've got over 5,000 subscribers. You've got closing in on 6. So you've done some things that have connected. Let me just do this really quickly. Let's go to your most popular uploads, and let's see what your audience is telling you. Wait, recharging. Okay. So in between keto.
Here we go.
I'm going to try not to go Roberto Blake on you.
Yeah.
In between teaching me how to make keto bagels and then giving me the update on what's going on with the world of wrestling, you're going to teach me how to recharge the air conditioning in my Nissan Altima? Listen, when these videos drive a lot of views and you become emotionally attached to them because you go, that's my favorite video, it's driven the most amount of views, it has nothing to do with your value proposition. So YouTube serves the recharge your air conditioning video out this week, and a bunch of people click it because they wanted to learn how. And then YouTube says, hey, they like that. Let me serve more from this channel. And they hit them with a bagel recipe or a wrestling video. Those people go, I am not going to click. That's not what I was here for. I was trying to learn about how to take care of my Nissan Altima. You have to understand that YouTube puts all of its efforts into understanding the viewer because the platform is a platform of prediction. YouTube is constantly trying to figure out in any given watch session what they can serve the viewer next to keep them watching. The best thing you can do on your channel is to help them figure that out by making content that is in alignment with one value proposition. That doesn't mean you only have to make one kind of video every week, but define a strong value proposition. Are you a car mechanic channel? You help people, work on their cars? That's one thing. Are you a wrestling fan, a fanatic channel that you cover all things wrestling? That's a different channel. Are you a keto diet channel? If you are, that's a different channel. Got to pick one, Matt. Got to pick one because you're only hurting yourself. And I want to see your channel grow. I want to see it grow. You've done some great things. You've shown that you can drive tens of thousands of views, but you're doing it in all different topics and sending all sorts of weird traffic signals back to YouTube who can't quite figure it out. And the only person who suffers in all of that is you and your channel.
Yeah, he's able to obviously connect with an audience because some of his videos have great views on them. So he's able to do that. He's able to get people to click. He's able to get people to watch. I believe he's done some collabs with some larger channels, if memory serves. So he's doing all the right things. He's just segmenting his audience, which is slowing his growth.
Yeah. Yeah, and some of this stuff looks really great, too. Like, I'm looking at that pasta thumbnail right there. It just looks good. Like, some of this stuff looks really good. And there's a reason it drove 15,000. Is that how many views? Like, it's driving a lot of views because you did a nice job putting the packaging together. Keto pasta, it makes a lot of sense. I know what that is at a glance. Just got to get that value prop dialed in, pal. And I think that and it's hard. I've had content creators who are in my memberships group who had this same problem. They had videos that drove a lot of views, but they couldn't seem to get the growth. It was always like they flatlined. And the reason for that flatline was YouTube was constantly trying to determine the right target audience for the content they were putting out. And I've had to have some of these creators make really hard choices and take down or unlist videos that were their strongest videos on their channel because they didn't fit with the direction of the channel. And once I was able to get them past that point, get laser focused, all of a sudden their channels took off and they started grinding. Most of the people in my group who have really been focused have all broke 10,000 plus subscribers this past year, crushing it just by getting in that alignment. So please, if there's one thing you're going to take away from this, please listen to that one piece of advice. See if you can get this into alignment.
So I'm going to grab a question out. Well, it's not a question, it's a statement out of the chat. And I apologize if I'm saying your name incorrectly, but Rumeka might be the name. She says, I've been told that niches are overrated. My bet is you've been told that by people who don't understand that niches are not overrated. Here's the thing. You can do whatever you want on your channel. Okay? We can give you best practices. We can give you things based on our experiences and based on other channels that we've worked with. You can do whatever you want on your channel. However, if you want to grow faster, if you want to build a better, tighter community, if you want to work with brands that know exactly what your channel is about, and you want to get people in to binge watch your content and get people really fired up about your next video, and not just segmenting, just a couple of subscribers are into your videos or just a couple of people. If you want to completely dial everything down and grow faster and make your channel aerodynamic, you have to niche down.
Yeah.
Right? But you can do it the slow way, right? You can do it the slower way, or you can do it the faster way. It's entirely up to you.
And listen, let's be clear about what we mean by niching down. We're not telling you make one type of video every week, week after week. What we're saying by niching down is figure out the kind of content you want to make, the type of the viewer, as Daryl Eves would say, the avatar of the viewer. Who is that person who would come back week after week to consume your content, and figure out why they should watch your channel. That's what we mean by niching down. Get it focused. Don't be all over the place. I can promise you the days of variety channels back in 2009, 2010 on YouTube are over. Yep. We're in a new YouTube now where people expect from a channel a very specific thing. And unless you've hit large amounts of growth where your whole community is super invested in you, like a PewDiePie who we watch go from gaming to meme reviews, there's a reason he can do that, because he's reached that connection with his target audience, tens of millions of subscribers. Is he, bro? He's over 100 million now, right?
Who?
Like PewDiePie?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So he can do that because his audience is invested in him and they'll follow him because they love him. But if you haven't reached that point yet, don't start putting all kinds of stuff all over the place. That's just the strongest advice we can give you. Don't be afraid of niching down, and don't make it don't make it a 4-letter word, right? It's not anything bad. It just means getting really focused and being clear on who your content is supposed to connect with, and then doing everything you can to make sure that your content you make actually connects with those types of viewers.
Right. I like to think of it like this. Okay, so I know who I want to watch my video, right? I know who that avatar is, and I have to think about, what do they need? How can I help? Like every video that goes up, okay, what does this person need? How can I help this person? How can I solve a problem for this person? How can I inspire this person, right? I know exactly who I'm making the videos for, and I just have to think about every single video that I upload, how can I give them what they want?
Yeah.
That's niching down.
Yeah. Okay, this was another person in the chat who asked to get pulled up. So we have, I hope I can say this right. It's a Sci-Fi's Thames Mudlark. That's a tongue twister right there, I'll tell you. I'm trying to figure, okay, so Thames is the River Thames in England, I assume. So I don't know what Thames Mudlark is. So one of the things I'm seeing is you've got your channel name, kind of a cool channel art where it's behind you, but I'm having the same issues here. I'm not quite understanding what this channel is about. I'd have to scroll down to really start learning what it's about. So the easier you can make it for me to know what it's about right when I land here, we call this above the fold. Before I start scrolling, can I quickly look and go, oh, I know what this is. And the messaging is really clear. That can help you connect with more viewers who have never been to your channel before. And you're doing really well. Listen, you're over 56,000 subscribers. Congratulations on that. That's a huge achievement. Yeah. And this kind of thing, like when you see what do you have? What was the link up here? I'm having trouble reading
Etsy.
that one.
It's Etsy.
Oh, it's an Etsy store. Okay, so here's a perfect one. Here's a perfect example of why I need to wear glasses because I can't read my own screen. Here's a perfect example of a link that I like. If you've got stuff that you're selling on Etsy and you go, listen, I'm putting my link up there because I drive revenue from that and it's intentional. Does it push people off platform if they happen to click it? Yeah. Does it put money in my pocket if they happen to click it? Yeah, that's intentionality. That's the kind of stuff I love to see, a very intentional link up there. That's really, you're trying to expand your creator world. That's why we all do this, right? The idea, or most of us who are trying to grow, we're trying to actually make some revenue and drive some money to actually pay for the things we're creating.
Yeah, and I also want to congratulations on 56K. That's hard. That's really hard, and you're doing it. So you're doing the right things. Let's just see if we can find a way to optimize it so you can grow even faster.
Okay, so it looks like he's doing sort of a finds. Now I'm starting to get it. Okay, he's kind of a treasure hunter, perhaps?
In the mud, right. They're digging around in mud.
All right. So now I'm starting to get it.
Right.
I don't know the location of it. I don't know if I misread the Thames. Maybe that's that Thames Mudlark. That might be your last name. I don't know. But if it's a specific location you're doing that, that's what I would probably put up here. Like now I start to get the image. It looks like you're kind of out exploring, but try to get that up here. Up here explaining that thing like, hey, these are
Finding stuff in the mud.
Yeah, yeah.
Something.
Treasure hunting in the mud or whatever it is, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But that's really what it is. Make it think about a great way to explain to someone exactly what your channel's about. If it's like, yeah, we go down to, if it's the River Thames, I don't know, but we explore and we kind of pull these things, finds out of the mud, using whatever means. It could be metal detecting or whatever you use, or magnet fishing or whatever the thing might be. But make it really clear in the channel that that's what this channel's about to help the new viewer out. Okay.
Neither one of us knew what the channel was about before we scrolled down.
Until I scroll down, and then I see
Right.
like this, what the WTF is this?
Human bones found in the mud.
Yeah,
They
relic
found them, Daniel. We're in trouble now.
Oh man, we didn't bury him deep enough. That was the last person who didn't take our channel art advice.
That's right.
No, I'm kidding. We're kidding. Totally kidding. But this is a relic found in a 100-year-old dump. Now, see, this is cool. Okay, so maybe it's not the River Thames. Maybe I'm just reading too far into the words. But here it is. You found this stuff in a dump. But I like the way you held it up. I like the WTF is kind of funny. It really kind of points to what it is. I don't know if all the other stuff, relic found in a dump, I don't know if that needed to be there. You probably could have done without that and maybe highlighted the object, but it's driven a bunch of views, so I'm not going to argue with that. It was a year ago. But that whole value proposition of what the heck is this? We found it near a 100-year-old dump. That makes the viewer look at it and go, what is that? Now I have to click to see what the heck he found. So those compelling things that you did in this packaging, I think, are really, really good. I love that packaging of that thumbnail right there.
17,000 views in a day. Like
Wow.
he's hitting it. Like
one day
you know
ago.
how to
Yeah.
communicate with your audience.
Yep, best mudlarking. So maybe that's the term I don't know. So maybe that mudlarking, and I'm sorry for some of these things that I wouldn't know, the mudlarking. So maybe mudlarking is that kind of rooting around and finding these treasures. So if that's a common term, then maybe get the mudlarking up, sci-finds, mudlarking adventures and treasure hunting, that kind of thing up in your channel art so that it's a little easier for like knuckleheads like me who don't know what it is we would skip by. But if we saw this and realized what it was, maybe we go, oh, this is really cool, which he's discovering all kinds of cool stuff, but it's not the traditional way that we're used to, So this is cool.
Let's dig a little bit deeper on him because he's getting the views. Let's see if we can optimize him a little bit.
Sure. The first thing I tell you is the same thing I'd say popular uploads is, uploads. Get rid of that stuff. Let's make sure that when someone comes to your storefront, you've got featured content. That's great. I love to see that. Make sure you have a different piece of content for the new viewer, someone who's never been to your channel before. Preferably, you can use a trailer. Or you can also think about how many views does the trailer have? About 19,000, so it's done okay. But you've got some content on here that has hundreds of thousands of views. You may want to consider, instead of just an explanation or a trailer, find a piece of content that converts really high. Go into your analytics and find a piece of content that in the last 90 days has had high conversion. A lot of people have subscribed after watching that video. And test out. Try dropping that in there and see if you get better conversion with that placed on your homepage, because you can look into your analytics and see where you're gaining subscribers from. And let's say you were gaining, maybe you got 10% conversion from your channel homepage. Maybe if you can up that to 12 to 15% by changing what they're seeing when they first land there, now you're being more effective to the new visitor and optimizing that storefront so it's more effective in converting. The other thing, the uploads, popular uploads, let's get those out and let's get right to the kind of like amazing old timer treasure collection, better. Hovercraft history hunters. These are a little wordy and tricky for me, but I get where you're going with it. You also don't have enough for the size of your channel. You have not enough content sections. You can put up to 10 sections here. Let's get 10 full sections and get some really well optimized playlists with descriptions. Okay, the same way you would build a really great title for your video, build a really great title for your playlist. My favorite mudlarking finds, or maybe it's a whole, WTF list. WTF finds, all the different things we didn't, unknown discoveries in the mud, where you just start doing all different ones like, look at the craziest finds, or, things like that. Break them down into playlists that the viewer would go, oh, I want to get into this playlist. That looks awesome.
Right. WTF did I find in the mud? Right. So I scroll up for a second. I want to add something to, So the video that you put up top. So Daniel was talking about putting a high performing video up here, something that's going to convert over to subscribers. So based on your channel goals, you can also change this video out as well. So if you're like, okay, I'm trying to get monetized, I'm trying to reach watch time, you could find the video that's driving the most watch time and you could put it in there. You could find the video that's driving the most subscribers. Or if you have, if you're into marketing, if you're selling something else, you have an Etsy store. So if you have a video that's driving a ton of sales, affiliate sales, or it's driving people over to your store, you could use that as well. It completely depends on what your channel goals are. I like to put sponsored videos there because I can highlight what's happening on the sponsored video, right? Because they're paying me to highlight the product. I like to stick it there to bring more eyes to that product.
Yeah.
So it's completely dependent on your channel goals.
Let me just quickly do one more thing. Let's go over to, you're doing great in a day, 17,000, 30 some odd thousand. These are all, you're doing like really great views. So that means that once people are seeing your content in the wild, it's connecting. You're doing a great job. People are seeing it, clicking it, want to watch it. Just in terms of your channel, your homepage, let's see if we can just optimize it a little bit better so it really has your packaging together and sells the messaging of what it is you do. I got to now look and go most popular and see what he's been doing. Look at some of these views. Wow, over 600,000 views on the gruesome finds. Do you see that? I love the way you capitalized gruesome finds, and then you did the smaller, that's the regular sized font where at Dead Man's Island. So the gruesome find is that kind of thing that really, Dead Man's Island. You can see this clearly looks like a jawbone. The WTF is your second highest performing. Pay attention to that. When you do super compelling finds and you package it in a way that really reach out to that viewer, those are the ones that seem to do really well on your channel.
How's he doing with his descriptions and pinned comments and all that good stuff?
Let's take a peek. I'm going to try not to let the video play here. Okay, so listen. Let me just kill the volume in case you got any music playing in here.
No, I don't hear anything.
Let me get past the ad. Okay, so one of the things I would say, sorry, I'm not going to give you any ad revenue today. My apologies. There is an island. Yes, there is. One of the things I tell you is when you're creating these playlists like we talked about, when you make really highly optimized playlists, and this is for everybody. This is one of my favorite tricks for trying to get more suggested views, get more recommended views, get more browse views. Think about in your content that you make sure you're using your content to recommend more of your content. I can already see there's a card in the upper right. That's fantastic. When I click on the card, I see a single video. So you're linking to this, pardon me. Let me hold on. Old man in the house. You're linking to the, have we found a murder weapon? Okay, so right now you're saying, hey, the gruesome finds links to have you found a murder weapon. Hopefully that card is about 80% of the way through or more. I love it because it makes a lot of sense. A gruesome find and then have we found a murder weapon. Very easy for someone who liked this video to go, I think they'll like this one too. I love the way you pushed them there. The next thing I would tell you to check is, well, what did you do with your end screen? When we get to your end screen, okay, this is where I would tell you to optimize a little differently. I would have told you, I think for channels under 100,000 subscribers, I really like sticking with, and even over, I'm 175,000 and I still stick with the strategy. Whatever you put up in this channel art, think about putting that here. Everybody listen, this is something that I actually talked to on stage at the VidSummit Worldwide presentation, all right? So you're getting a little free advice that we'd say for the VidSummit presentations. Think about this. You've got a card that goes off to, did we find a murder weapon? So one viewer comes along, they click on that card, they head off to see that video. Then you get to the end screen and someone comes along and you've got two choices here. Someone clicks this video and goes off to the gems, they go off to the gems video. Different traffic signal, right? Now we scroll down. Do you have a link in the description above the show more, what we call above the fold? I don't see one, but you should put a link to another video here so that it shows without having to click through the show more to get to it. And where I would recommend pointing them to is to the same murder weapon video. Then when we scroll down, do you have a pinned comment? You do, but but there's no link in here. What I would have told you is to link another video, but I would have taken that exact same link that you put up in your description above the fold so you don't have to click show more, and I would have stuck it right here, okay? And the reason I would have done all of this is very simple. One video, we're trying to send traffic signals to YouTube that helps them understand the type of viewers they should serve your content to. So the way to do that, someone's watching your video and they're going, man, I love this video. This gruesome finds is killer. And then they get about 80% of the way through the video and this card pops up and says, hey, if you like this video, check out this murder weapon we found. And I go, oh, all right, I want to finish watching this video, but I saw that looks great. I may not click it, I might, but I'd rather finish watching. Then you get to the end and you go, hey, if you like this video, don't forget, I got a murder weapon video that you might like. So now you've recommended that same piece of content twice. You've put that in their head twice. That viewer might go, I want to watch that, but let me scroll down because I actually want to leave you a comment. If I get my mouse to click. So, hold on 1 second. Sometimes my mouse is disconnected.
Are you stuck?
Yeah, I might.
You good?
Yeah, hold on a sec. I'll find it. Let me see if I got it. There we go. The next thing I would tell you is, let me close. There we go. Close this out. Yeah, this seems to be frozen. Okay, so then down in the link in the description. So let's say they scroll down, right, and they're going to go leave you a comment. As they scroll past your description, there's this link going, hey, if you really like this, check out this murder weapon we found. And there's a link right there, okay? And that person goes, I promise you, I'm going to click on that murder weapon video. You've now recommended it 3 times. But I want to leave a comment because I really like this gruesome finds video. They scroll down. They would be right where I am right now, but right below, you could pin this exact same, hey, if you like that video, go check out this murder weapon video. So now I'm sitting here leaving a comment as a viewer, and you've sandwiched me with recommendation above and below. You hit me in 4 different places. You hit me with the card.
Malachi Crunch.
Yep.
The Malachi Crunch.
That is a Happy Days reference right there, my friend.
How long has it been since you heard that one?
That was way back. Man, blow my mind. That's crazy. So listen, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different places that you can recommend another piece of content. And here's the advantage of recommending just one specific video. If one person comes along, clicks on the card, they get sent to that murder weapon video. Another person comes along, they click on the end screen, they get sent to the murder weapon video. Third person, fourth person, one clicks the link in the description, one clicks the link in the pinned comment. Every viewer who's clicked on that link have all gone to one other video. What you've done is you've sent the same traffic signal back to YouTube that when people watch the gruesome finds video, they have a tendency to watch the murder weapon video. You've made that connection between query and candidate video. What that does is not only does it put a second piece of content in their recent watch history if you get them to click, which will help you in browse because people with more content in their recent watch history get recommended more often in browse. But YouTube, when a new person comes along who has never watched this video before, one of the things they look at is, what did the last few people watch that had similar viewing habits who may have watched this video? And they'll start looking at things like, oh, you've got 4 of them to all go watch one other video? YouTube will then think about putting over here on the sidebar, the suggested, and in the up next, they'll start going, why don't we try that video with this new viewer? That's how you start creating more recommended views from suggested and from browse. Funnel the viewer, push them in one direction. Everybody, when you build playlists, funnel those viewers in one direction, okay? Don't send them all over the place. It's not the worst thing in the world, but if you keep sending scattered traffic signals, you've taught YouTube that viewers may like watching more of your content, but you haven't given them a specific path that they can pick up on as easy and start recommending themselves. So those correlations between query and candidate video are really important, especially if you're trying to have some really strong exponential growth. Did I talk too much, Dee? I'm sorry.
No, that was fascinating. You explained it perfectly.
But I love where he's heading with this channel.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and having those links out in your description, having the links out in the pinned comment, that is prime real estate. And so you've got 56,000 subscribers already. You're getting tons of views. If you scale that small little tweak across your entire channel, you're going to see a lift on all of your videos that you're linking out to.
All right.
Hey, Dana, how you doing?
I got my nose to the grindstone here on that one, so I'm going to try to just pick someone from chat. I've got Comm Hunt TV. Let me go see if we can take a look at your channel. And again, everybody, the idea here is not, hey, pull up my channel so I can see it on screen. You can do that yourself. The goal here is to try to take everything we're teaching you about in every one of these channels and see where those things apply to your channel, if any of these things you might be missing, and that might help you get a little more locked in and a little more focused. I'm automatic. Let me see what this is. I'm seeing
Funny cycling videos.
Yeah, immediately when I saw your channel avatar, I loved it because I saw the cycling helmet. And I went, this guy has to be a cycling channel. Dee, why don't you take this one?
Yeah, I love it. Let me blow this up here. Let me look at it full screen. All right, Comm Hunt TV, Sunday premiere, 8 p.m. Funny cycling videos. I think your messaging is on point. I love the colors. I love that you've got your, the imagery in there. But I would make your funny cycling videos the main focus, because my eyes went straight to your logo and I had to look for just a second. But funny cycling videos, if that's what your channel is about, I would make that the main focus up there in your channel art. Dial that packaging in just a little bit tighter. And same thing, we've got to scroll back up. So you've got links out to a second channel. You've got links out to, I'm not sure what the first one is. It looks like you've got Patreon and Instagram. Except for the second channel, you're driving people off platform, which you don't want to do, especially at your size. You're also giving them an opportunity to go and leave this channel and go over to your second channel. I would remove those for now. If you're going to put anything up there, I would put subscribe to this channel.
Yeah.
You want to funnel everybody into your content. You don't want to give them an opportunity to leave. Not yet, not at your size.
And we're seeing similar things. This is everybody. This is why we try to give advice that's applicable to a bunch of channels. Uploads, popular upload. You're just putting stuff there that that really doesn't help define what this channel is about. It's YouTube stacking things in there. And especially, I always find it funny if you've got like 300 subscribers, which you don't. You have more than that. And you say popular uploads. It's like, well, what's popular? Let the viewer decide what's popular by actually driving views to those videos.
Hey, Daniel, I want to pause for a second because it seems like the word of the day is playlists. Yeah. That seems to be like a common thing that we're hitting with all the channels, is people are not fully maximizing the playlist like they should. So for those of you in the chat right now, if you're unsure of how to put your playlist together and how to get them on your homepage here, all you have to do is go into YouTube Studio, tap on your profile picture up in the top right-hand corner, go to YouTube Studio, and then over on the far right-hand side, you go to customize or customization. There it is, just customization. Yeah. Down, customization. Yeah. And this is where you can add all of this. Now, if you're doing this on a mobile device, you're not going to be able to access this directly. So I recommend using the Chrome browser, put it in desktop mode, right? Go down to the three little dots and hit request desktop site. Then go to youtube.com, then tap on your profile picture, go to YouTube Studio, and you're going to end up in the same place with a bunch of pinching and zooming. But this is where you can actually add your playlists and you can add your channel trailers, featured content, and all of that.
Yeah. And listen, there's a couple of things here. Like you can see mine is grayed out on add a section. If it was blue, that would mean I would have an available section to add. So if you've got the content, get it structured, get it onto your homepage where people can view it. And the things like uploads, a lot of times people will say to me, well, I have uploads there so that people will know, they can find my newest video and see that I'm active. Well, do it this way. You've got two choices here. You've got one for people who haven't subscribed, new people to your channel, and you've got a video for people who have already subscribed and are coming back. I always go with the thought that what should you put here for someone who hasn't subscribed? Something that's really value packed, like Dee was saying, something that might want it, that's been driving a lot of conversion, or something that has driven a lot of views, or maybe it's something like he said that's going to push them towards a sales product. But intentionality for someone who hasn't seen you before, you might go, hey, listen, I want to make sure that they see this thing that really represents my channel well.
Yeah, so I don't know if he has cycling crash videos, but let's say he did, because I didn't get a chance to look through all of it. But if you have a handful of cycling crash videos, you can make a playlist if they're top performing videos on your channel. I'm just theoretically. Okay, now we're looking at it. Yep. I was going to say theoretically, if you had those videos, you could put a playlist of like epic crash videos or insane crash videos, or however you wanted to put that together.
How many times does it say popular uploads?
I don't know. Hold on.
Oh no, just one. So popular is down below.
And there's no crash videos. There's no crash videos. So I'm gonna take
that's it. We're not subscribing today.
Funny cycling videos. I was fully expecting like a bunch of fail videos.
I'm just trying to look at some of these. The show. The best hill climb. Best hill climb at least speaks to me, but it doesn't necessarily scream bicycling hill climb, because there's different types of hill climbing. People do it in motorcycles. They do it in quads. Is that guitar jam?
Yeah,
do you have guitar jams? Okay, again, alignment. If people are here for the funny cycling videos, I'm not quite sure what guitar jams has to do with that. really try to stay focused. Try to stay in one lane.
Here's what's happening. He's creating playlists where it looks like they're for him, but he's
they're
not making them
saved.
private.
Okay, this is what I get it.
You
This
need
is
to
what it is.
privatize these. Yeah.
Yeah, if you start putting together saved playlists of stuff you've been watching, I can see him as a viewer, a visitor to your channel. So privatize that stuff so it doesn't show up, and stick to your own created playlists here. Just because that stuff's going to throw me off. Like, why is that on this channel? Why do I have Dan in real life? Best hill climb. Yeah, I would say the same thing. Like, best hill climb 2020. For one, first of all, it's not 2020 anymore, so consider getting rid of that. But I would think about making a playlist that said like, crazy hill climbs with our bikes or on a bicycle that really screams.
Unbelievable bicycle hill climbs.
Yeah, there you go. Something that really screams the thing. And then make sure in your playlist, when you're actually on your homepage, you can put descriptions under your playlist title. So make sure that underneath you say like, these videos will show some of the craziest hill climbs we've ever attempted on our bicycles that you don't want to miss, right? Get them all hyped up. Like, make sure it helps the viewer understand exactly what's going on in that playlist, and then get that playlist organized with all those videos of the hill climbs put in there. So it makes sense. Like, we're really, like in a supermarket, if you wandered in and then all of the aisles weren't labeled or they were mixed and they had no sense to them, you'd be like, I got broccoli and soup and napkins in the same aisle. I can't seem to find what I want in this store. It's hard. Make it easy for the viewer to find your channel, find your content, get sucked down those viewing rabbit holes, because everything's structured really well. That's true to the value proposition, but always is true to the playlist strategy. So all that relevant content gets grouped together. And if people want to see the crashes, give them the crashes. If they want to see the hill climbs, give them the hill climbs. If they want to see, I don't know, whatever else you've done, funny biking videos, wheels falling off your bike or whatever it might be, put those together.
You know what, though? Like, just looking at his thumbnails and looking at the titles that he's choosing, I don't see funny.
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like we have to know who's the best.
I don't see funny. I don't see humor here. I see bicycles, but I don't see what he's telling me the channel is about. Funny, bike videos. I'm not seeing humor here.
Yeah, one of the things here is, and this could be me not having a perspective, because I'm not into biking of any sort, so I wouldn't know some of these references. But some of this stuff, like who dropped Phil Lovett? It's almost like an inside joke that I don't know who Phil Lovett is. So if I don't know Phil Lovett, then it's hard for me to be invested in this if I don't know who the characters are. Now that might be a famous bicyclist, and I go, oh, I get who that is. It's driven some views. You've got about 500 some odd views. That looks like, yeah. So it's driven some views, but you want to always make sure that you're creating content for your target audience. Here's one of the things I talk about a lot. Make sure you understand the difference between your target audience and your community. Your community are people who are already subscribed, people who are invested in you, people who have already said, I like what you do. I think it's pretty cool. I like watching your videos. But your target audience are all the people out there that you're trying to reach who have no idea who you are. So if they have no idea who you are, then one of the things you want to do is to make sure that that content speaks to those people, because yeah, we did lose D. He might have, he was maybe taking a bathroom break, or maybe he's just tired of me talking. One of the things you want to think about is the target audience are people who don't know who you are, and a channel will never grow faster than when it's being served to people who have no idea who you are. So what you want to really try to do is make sure that you make content that speaks to those people, because you're even a high performing channel, you usually like maxes out somewhere between 20 to 30% of the views come from subscribers, but the majority, 70 to 80, are from people who are new visitors, people who haven't subscribed to your content. So that doesn't always mean that they're brand new to your channel. Some people just choose not to subscribe, but those people who the only way you can build a channel is by reaching new people. So make sure you're building that channel in a way that does that really focuses on, that tries to reach people who don't know who you are, because that's how you're going to get it to grow. So make it easy for them to understand, right? That target audience. Welcome back, D.
Yep. I sent you a message.
Oh, did you? I was busy talking the whole time. Let me see. Where can I? I'm gonna go into the chat here. What did Nick have to say? I missed Nick's comment. Daniel does the Aussie VH. That's right. Yeah. Let me see. Let me see who is answering here. I'm trying to find. Daniel does. What was he asking? Oh, the Aussie. Nick Nimmin, do you guys ever do private paid review chat? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I do have a danielbatal.com. You can book time with me if you're looking for individual one-on-one channel consultations. I don't think Nick does it anymore. Dee, I don't think you've ever really done it, though. We do help Dee and I have channel memberships programs. So if you went to Dee's channel and underneath his channel art or even under his videos, next to the subscribe button, you'll see on Dee's videos says join. It's not available in all regions, but in the regions they are, you can become one of his channel members. And he's got his own private Facebook group where he helps, he does this kind of stuff, but in a more closed group setting where he can dive in a little deeper. He's also got, private live streams where he does live streams like this for just his channel members, and he can pull up their content and he can get in a little deeper than we're doing here today. So that's a bunch of ways that you can get some more one-on-one or smaller group consulting from either one of us.
Love it.
I'm looking at Tech Savage. I'm going to pull him from the chat. I see you, pal. Tech Savage. Awesome. Let me get back over here. Okay. So I hope that was helpful.
We're getting some comments in the audience. We know that there's some crackling going on.
Do I get crackling from my mic?
Yeah, we'll tackle that once we're off here.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I haven't quite figured out where I'm getting it from. I apologize for that.
What's weird is you before we went live, it wasn't happening.
Yeah, we tested it. I'm wondering if it's just, maybe it's internet. We'll see. We'll figure it out. I apologize for that. New studio, new set. We're working out the bugs, and maybe some of the bugs are actually in the mic and crackling around in there right now. Tech Savage, this you right here? Yeah, it looks like you. Okay. So, one of the things, Dee, run with this.
All right. Let me open it. Let me zoom in here so I can see what's going on. Okay. Tech Savage. Now, before we pulled this up, I fully expected to see imagery and packaging all about tech. And we've got a kayak. We've got a kayak on the water, and it makes me want to go on vacation. So this is the messaging up here at the top has nothing to do with tech. Now, it might, you might not know how to make graphics because I'm looking at your thumbnails here and you're putting the graphics in, it looks like you're just taking just random shots or maybe even screen grabs from your videos themselves, or YouTube might actually be selecting those for you. I can't tell, but it is worth it if you can't do this yourself, you can go to a place like Canva, you can go to placeit.net. They have tons of templates over there that you can download for thumbnails or for channel art, or you can go to Fiverr and have somebody build a channel art for you. But you want your packaging put together, your messaging to tell people what exactly your channel is about. Right now, you're telling people up at the top that you're about kayaking and going on a holiday.
Yeah, we know very little about what this is. So again, Tech Savage, what I would do is, instead of me repeating all the things that we just said about the other channels, to pay attention to what we just did. You can watch this in the replay, take a look at the advice we were giving on how to start structuring these channels out and make sure that your channel has value proposition in it, that you have your name up there, that you have the images that make sense in the messaging, and then make sure that you're getting away from things like uploads. Start building playlists that reinforce what it is your channel's about. Because if it is about tech, it doesn't look like it from just a quick glance. And if you're trying to get people to subscribe to the channel and they come across and they go, oh, it's a kayaking channel, and they move on, that's going to be really hard for you to grow that channel.
One thing about tech, so there's so many tech channels out there. And if you're going to put Tech Savage and you put your logo and everything up in your channel art, let us know exactly what's going on with your channel about tech. Are you reviewing specific tech products? Are you reviewing chargers? Are you reviewing all sorts of tech? Be very specific with that value proposition.
Wait, I'm man.
You pulled up the wrong channel?
Tech Savage. He's like, I just saw it in chat. Wrong channel, guys. Sorry.
So listen to the Tech Savage who might find this.
Dang it.
Get it together, man. Get it together.
Could you do me a favor, Tech Savage? First of all, could you reach out to the other Tech Savage and let him know that we did him a solid? I'm sorry. I apologize for that.
Every single person in here should go leave a comment under that Tech Savage with the timestamp of this live stream.
Oh God!
Here's just unsolicited help from a couple of dudes on YouTube.
Why do random people pull up my channel and hassle me? I'm just trying to make kayak videos. They start screaming at me on the StreamYard channel. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That's another thing. We're all learning lessons here, Daniel. Pay attention. I apologize. Okay, Tech Savage. Your Tech Savage channel is much better than the last Tech Savage channel we saw. Now I see your name up here. One of the things, wow, man, when I fail hard. One of the things, again, Tech Savage, I think the name says a lot, right?
Flip it.
Yep. This is the problem. It's all name and tiny value proposition. It's very hard to read. So make the Tech Savage part smaller and then do the quality tech videos. Is that what it's saying? Quality tech videos?
Yeah.
That's a
Here's the
weird
thing
value prop. What does that mean, quality? You telling me that you make really good videos? They're high quality videos?
Here's the thing about channel art, and this applies to everyone in here. Your channel art is about the viewer, letting them know what your channel is, letting them know what's in it for them. So a lot of people make the mistake of putting their name as the biggest thing or putting their logo as the biggest thing. That's not important for the viewer at this point. They don't know you yet. You haven't built that relationship. You haven't earned their trust yet. So your name is not important. What is important is what's in it for them. So make sure that your value proposition, whatever it is that you're doing on your channel, is the biggest, the clearest thing on your channel art.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think you could dial that in. Quality tech videos, it's not very specific.
Yeah, and the same thing. Welcome to my channel. I'm under 2,000 subscribers. Let's go to Instagram. You know, all the stuff that we're seeing repetitively. I'm not saying those are bad choices as you grow the channel. I'm just saying for right now, when you're smaller, really let's keep focused on growing this channel. And your image is great. This is a really great picture of you. I would have liked to have seen this up here. Your face, the name of the channel, and then larger value proposition. Things like design and getting balance and getting colors right are things you work towards. That you'll, as you grow, you can always come back and make better channel art. But for right now, I think the most important thing a smaller channel can do is get the imagery and messaging right, so that when someone lands here, they understand immediately what the value of this channel is. And you've got some good things going on. I just think you need to dial it in a bit. Again, full reviews. I don't know what full reviews is if it's taken out of context. I don't know what unboxing videos is. You know, again, popular uploads, never my favorite. So unboxing videos as a thing could be so many different things. If this playlist showed up on someone's homepage, what I would tell you is probably make sure it's tech. Use the word tech unboxing in there. Unboxing my favorite tech. Just those. You've got these are so generic for playlist titles that you really want to make things that really curate and help the viewer understand exactly what's happening in each of one of these playlists.
Yeah, and I understand you're just getting started, and I think your thumbnails look good. You know, you're obviously skilled. You're taking pictures. Everything looks good. But you know, in order to get channel momentum rolling, in order to get your foot in the door, when you're just like iPhone 12 full review, like good luck with that. Like you are competing against, you know, Marquez Brownlee and Unbox Therapy. You're competing against enormous channels. And you might end up, you know, being recommended as the watched video eventually, maybe. But there's a different approach that you could take to start pulling people in. Instead of like iPhone 12 full review, iPhone 12, change these settings immediately. iPhone 12, how to charge your battery properly. iPhone 12, and find different, you know, go a little bit deeper into it and try to find different ways to pull people in that way so you're not going head to head with channels with millions of subscribers and millions of views.
Yeah, pardon my burp.
Yeah,
I'm just taking a look at what's connected for you. Another thing that we haven't really talked about for anyone out there, if you're trying to figure out where you should be steering your channel, if these are actual organic views and there wasn't any sort of paid views going on in here or advertising, anything like that, try to look at, you know, reorganize. If you come into your videos tab, you can sort by most popular, and then you can start looking at like what's done well on your channel and see if you can find some patterns, whether it's patterns in the length of the videos, whether it's patterns in the look of the thumbnails, whether it's patterns in the type of titles or the keywords or the things you're talking about. This Oppo's done, I think it is. Am I reading this? Yeah, Oppo, is that, help me out here, D. I don't know.
Oppo, yeah, it's Oppo.
So you've done well. Out of your top 3, 2 of them, there was these Oppo videos. So if that's something that's doing well, and it's, you know, no matter what your channel is, if you start seeing patterns of things that have done well, start learning what connects with your channel and go, oh, let me see if I can double down and make another one of those and drop them in there. If something connects more than others, and use the strengths, learn to listen to your channel, let your channel tell you when you're doing something right, and just try to repeat those successes. Let me see. I'm seeing Slothy Vlogs asked to be pulled up here. Let me take a look. I got to tell you by the name, I've already got preconceived notions.
What's the name of it?
Slothy Vlogs. Okay. I see sloths.
Check.
Check.
I was expecting a couple of people on the channel art like holding martini glasses.
Right. Slothy vlogs.
Like a camera and a martini glass.
Yeah. So the thing that we were talking about earlier is when we talk about, vlogging, I always tell people, I don't have anything against vlogging, but the thing that sometimes people get confused on is they think vlogging is a niche. Like, oh, I'm a vlogger. The problem is vlogging isn't a niche as much as it is a style of making content. The way you're filming videos, more of a live, get out there, make it happen, capture it. So vlogging could be anything. You could vlog about travel. You can vlog about restaurants. You can vlog about health and fitness. You could vlog about tech. You could vlog about, anything you wanted to pick as a niche. So the thing I would say, for the Slothy vlogs, just make sure you help us understand, what are your vlogs about? What's this content about? Because as it says, it almost looks like a carnival. Am I seeing this right? They look like they're on a ride.
The sloths?
Does this look like a carnival background? And
like they're at a carnival and they're on a ride, 2 tokens. Yeah, just out of the gate, I can tell you that you can lose the social media icons, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
These don't even, first of all, these aren't even clickable, so they don't mean anything. And the ones that are clickable, I think, like I said, I'd rather see you put like an auto-subscribe link, which is just your channel URL with !_confirmation equals 1. Add that onto your channel
I'll
URL.
drop that into the chat. I'll drop that into the chat right now.
And that'll turn your channel homepage URL into an auto-subscribe link, which means instead of just putting a link up there that would keep recycling your homepage every time someone clicked it, it opens up a little window that says, would you like to subscribe to this channel if someone clicks it? And you can use that out in the wild too. Anytime like someone asks you, hey, what's your channel? You could drop an auto-subscribe link. And if they come to your channel, the first thing it'll punch them in the face. It'll say, hey, you want to subscribe? Sometimes that works. Sometimes people find it annoying. Use it as in your own, with modesty and deference to who you're sending it to.
Right, I just put it on the screen right here. So you want to put this at the end of your channel name.
Yeah, that's so good. Awesome. That little bit of code, !, all lowercase, !_confirmation equals 1. When we get into your playlist, same things, vlogs, planet, coaster. So now this is the same, I'm seeing coasters. So it may be vlogging about different amusement parks or roller coasters. See, that's a different thing, but now it's Slothy's POVs, point of views.
So Kevin Hagen Investing says, do you not think the auto-subscribe is a bit pushy? Here's the thing, they clicked on it. If they click on it, you're just helping them subscribe faster. If they're not interested in subscribing, they're not going to click on that in the first place. So no, it's not pushy. You're actually facilitating, you're speeding up the process of helping them subscribe faster.
Yeah, I mean, the goal of these channels is we're trying to grow the channel, Is it pushy to put your product on the shelf of a supermarket or a store and say, hey, you should buy this? No, I mean, that's what we're here to do. We're here to try to get people to connect with our content.
Says, hey, Daniel and Nick. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, you got my name wrong. It's David. He's Nick. I'm David. Let's try to get the names straight.
David and Nick. Come on, get it together.
I actually do have a brother, David.
I've got a brother named Nick. How funny is that?
Yeah, imagine that. I know what happens. D, if only we had like our names underneath us or something, then people would be able to recognize who we are.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm seeing some fair stuff. It looks like there's some fairs and roller coasters. So this is what I would tell you, Slothy Vlogs. I think that, I kind of looked and said, I think this is at an amusement park or fair. Slothy Vlogs, don't make it so catchy that you're like, look, we're sloths, and you're trying to be so clever that you miss the messaging, which it looks like is more of like sort of a, I don't know, some kind of lifestyle or an interest channel where it's really about fairs and rides and amusement parks and sort of that out and adventure, trying out different amusement parks and things like that. I'd much rather see something that really screams that to me in the channel art itself.
It's a lot more interesting to me if they had some packaging that's like, hey, we something about always, finding the best amusement parks or amusement park reviews. Like, that's interesting.
Yeah. Another thing is watch your titling. Down here you can see you have a Planet Coaster. You have to excuse me because I don't know what Planet Coaster is. I don't know if that's a place that has all different roller coasters in it, which that would make sense if that's what it is. But expand upon this. Let's play Planet Coaster. Oh, is it a game? Is that what it is? I'm sorry. Oh, so maybe I don't know,
but I would 100% I'd throw up on one of those things.
Okay, so maybe this is, because some of this is real life, some of this is a game, but then look at the title. It's all Planet Coaster Episode 1. Planet Coaster. Be careful with this kind of stuff. If they're so similar, these almost look identical. you're almost competing against yourself for the same target over and over and over again, instead of making each one of these individual and consumable if found in the wild. Something like Planet Coaster Episode 3, if I see that, I might go, oh, I can't watch that video because I think I was supposed to watch 2 videos before that. So if it's supposed to go in a row like that, it's a series and they're doing really well, I understand that. Maybe push the episode 3 towards the end of the truncation and let the other thing happen first. You know, I'd lead with the the Christmas fair, Christmas
It's all
fun
a game.
Yeah, it's all
Planet
a game.
Coaster's a game. Yeah.
Okay. It's a video game made by Frontier, similar to Roller Coaster Tycoon. I played that. Okay. Yeah, just break it up more because you keep labeling all the same thing. It's hard for the viewer to understand what's the difference between this one and the other one. And the only difference is that one's episode 4, that one's episode 3. You know, are there things that are happening? Is it just gameplay? Make sure that you're explaining to the viewer why they would want to watch this episode of what's happening here in this game. Put the value back in, even if it's gaming. And again, I'm still a little detached here because this doesn't look like gaming up here. So is someone who's interested going to different fairgrounds and amusement parks, are they interested in the game? Maybe, but you're just kind of all over the place. Are you a gamer? Are you an adventurer who goes out and explores all these different amusement parks and compares them and shows us the different rides and which one's better? I feel like there's an opportunity here for you to do something really great. Let me just check the most recent of because some of the dates on these. Atmosphere, okay, Thunder Waltz, that's the Superstar. A lot of these seem to be fairgrounds, and I bet you some of this is probably tricky because with COVID, I bet you some of these places were hard to get into and do some of these. But if you have some of these different places you've adventured to and tried these different fairgrounds and amusement parks and roller coasters and things, there's a lot of opportunity for you to compare them, to go make videos that what's the best roller coaster in whatever your region is. I'm sorry, I don't know where this region is you're at. I'm in North America. So if I was going to say, what's the best roller coaster, the most exciting roller coaster on the East Coast of the U.S. And then if I'd visited a bunch of different places, I could actually take ones where I've done individual videos talking about that roller coaster, then make a compilation video and go, I went to this one, it was really great, but this part here, and you can start talking about it and showing people destinations of why you'd want to go to check out that coaster, or which one's better if they were making a decision where to go. Give them some tips about where the best rides are, the best thrills are, where the shortest lines are, which one take the longest to get on the rides, all those things that someone might find interest in. If there's fairs, because fairs tend to travel, if I'm not mistaken, as opposed to like a amusement park. Dee, just right now, he went to go ride a roller coaster. If they're traveling, then you can do things like talking, make sure that people understand, maybe if it's a fair that comes and goes, that this time of year, best fairs to hit up for roller coaster rides in the fall. So people can look and go, oh yeah, it's the fall's coming. I want to keep my eye out for this new fair that's coming around. They're bringing rides in or whatever that may be. But I kind of get where you're going. Just get the messaging together in here so that it's very clear. It moves away from just the slothy blogs. Let's see. Nick has a great comment here. I started with a how to overcome camera shyness and then moved on to productivity content, now deleted. You got it right there. And then moved to another channel, then back to my current one. See, Nick is a guy who's, really, we know Nick for being such a huge creator on the platform right now. But Nick's a guy who's been here putting in the time and effort and trying things and see what connected to really find a channel that made sense. And he never tried to put that all on one channel. He had different channels that he jumped through. I've watched some of his other channels. There's a couple of great channels that I still watch. He really tried to find that thing and package it and not try to stick it all on one channel. If he wanted to try something different that was a different value proposition, he created a different channel, the one we know now, the Nick Nimmin channel, that's a behemoth.
Yeah. So also Nick is going live tomorrow morning here on the StreamYard channel. I believe at 9 a.m. Eastern time. 9 a.m. Eastern time, Nick will be live here on the StreamYard channel. So make sure you guys come back for that.
And his microphone doesn't crackle, so I can promise you that. Let me see where we at right now. Let me see. I'm trying to see. We've got just looking into the chat to see what's happening here. Would love to see my channel reviewed. This is fixed by CHAQ because I just happen to see it. Fixed by is it Shaq? Shaq? Let me check a peek. Let me see if we can. Let's see if we can find your channel, my friend. Fixed by Shaq. Now, if there's another Fixed by Shaq and this isn't you, please yell at me at the chat. I want to see. I want to go back and see how long we were babbling, and while they're in the chat going. 2 hours later, Daniel finally looks
later.
finally looked up.
That's the funny thing. For people who don't go live, you might not understand that, like, while, people are live, especially if you're doing something like channel reviews, we have two places to look. One, we look at the camera lens to assert our dominance on YouTube. And number two, we're looking at the actual channel. We're looking down, at the browser. And number three, in my case, I'm like changing stuff. I'm switching stuff around and clicking on, making the stream run. And Daniel is just, I don't know, he's wiggling his mic cable over there or something.
Making popcorn.
So we're not always looking into the chat. So we can just go down a rabbit hole and start talking about somebody's channel easily and have the wrong channel.
Yeah, we apologize. Listen, we're still learning too. Fixed by, I'm sorry if I get your name wrong. I'm going to say it's Shaq or Shaq, one of the two. Tech tutorials, reviews, unboxing, fixes, do-it-yourselves. So one of the things is, again, Fixed by Shaq is big. I don't hate it, the size, but I always, try to make sure that this is a little more powerful. You've got very little going on in your channel art. First of all, if you're Shaq, make sure you put your image up there because that's you. Let's get you up there so we understand. We can go, okay, that's you. You're the guy who's doing these fixes. Tech tutorials, reviews, unboxing, fixes. One of the things is your channel name is Fixed by Shaq. So I'm thinking that you're a guy who does a lot of repairs, but that's like the fourth thing in your listing of what the channel's actually about. So be focused here. Yeah, let's make intentional, right. Let's make sure that if it's fixed, I kind of expect this channel to do mostly, tech repairs.
Tech repairs, right.
And I'm not seeing that until fixes kind of way at the very end there. And also you've sort of done this diffused image in the background. I kind of think like if you're going to put a diffused image back there, think about getting some imagery in there that might scream tech. Doesn't have to be strong, can be pulled way back, but something that has a little more techie feel, less of a, looking in through a cloudy, steamy bathroom shower door, that might do it. That just might hint a little more at the value prop. And the same thing with the link in your channel art. Let's try to get, you're still small, but congratulations on breaking 1,000 subscribers. It's a great achievement. But see if you can just keep it to the auto subscribe link, maybe for now, and then keep the Instagram stuff or in your description of your videos. You got featured content, but again, uploads, phone hacks and fixes. I kind of like this. Now, see, this is where I would have started because if it was, Fixed by Shaq and it said tech repairs, which I would have started with, then I would have said tech repairs, reviews, and unboxings. Keep it simple. You don't have to have all the DIY tutorials. It kind of tells us that you're going to be doing, showing people things. You didn't need that. Tech repairs, reviews, and unboxings might have been cool with your image up there. And then if I scroll down, the first thing I saw after the featured content was phone hacks and fixes, and then put a description in there. Let me, in this series, I'll show you how to jailbreak your phones and fix problems that are commonly found in these phones. And then underneath it, you'll have all these great videos that show people the hacks and fixes, which falls right in line with the messaging of Fixed by Shaq. So I start seeing, oh, it's right there. That's what he said the channel's about. There's the content. I see the playlist, well optimized. And then all those videos start reaffirming and supporting that value prop in the channel art. So the messaging of this whole channel really gets it, makes it easy for the viewer who comes here to understand exactly what it's about. Dee, what are you seeing?
I wasn't actually looking. Somebody just bombarded my phone with a ton of messages all at once, and my phone started vibrating like crazy. So I was looking, and it's still going off. I'm trying to figure out. So here's the funny thing about an iPhone. Like I've got all my notifications turned off, but I'm still it's still vibrating like crazy. I don't know if you guys heard that, but I apologize.
Hey, Shaq, can you help him? He needs a little fix or hack with his phone.
Can someone teach me how to turn off the vibration, even though it's everything's turned off? What is going on?
I'm looking. He might have a video on that. So yeah, this is.
No, I want to say this, back on the phone hacks and fixes, because that's one of the things I was looking at there. I think that's really smart to do, right? Because this is one of the things that I was talking about. So the other channel was doing, iPhone 12 full review, right? Versus iPhone 12 not charging. Of course, this isn't iPhone 12, but just iPhone 12 not charging fix, 3-minute fix, 7,000 views.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's how you get in.
Yeah, and look at that. It's only 3
That's-
months old.
Exactly.
7,000, and the channel is how many? You got 1,350 subscribers. So to drive that kind of views, assuming those are all organic, that's a powerful one. That should tell you. Look at that really clear. I wish the image
Right.
was a little clearer, but I can get it. iPhone fix.
Right.
I see iPhone, and I see fix, and I see an iPhone, and then it says iPhone not charging for iPhone not charging fix in 3 minutes. One thing I would tell you: try to avoid all capital letters in your titles. It's just one of those things that YouTube has kind of come out over the years and said they don't like that look on the platform. A capitalized thing that you want to like fix or iPhone if you want to draw attention to it, but all caps, try to avoid that. YouTube has made it clear. They haven't come out and said that they're going to in any way punish you or diminish your reach, but they have clearly hinted that they do not prefer us doing that. So anything that they say, try not to do that, I try to avoid.
I'm also not a fan of putting the year in the front of the title, like the next video right there.
2021, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, let me see. Well, let's go to this. This is one of the tricks you guys should all do. Go to your channel, sort by most popular, and see if you can learn what's going on, and see what's really connecting. And we've got iPhone keeps disconnecting. iTunes library not showing. So here look at the strongest stuff on your channel has been helping people with problems with their iPhones, something that's not working.
Fixing things.
Fixing.
Yep.
So really, when you say fixed by Shaq, I love that, but it should have been tech repairs first. Get it up there. And on a picture of you, don't be afraid to show like the broken phone, with you pointing at it and be like, with the thing hanging in half or something, or a cracked screen or, something that really screams that fixing tech. Think about the image before the words. What image would really scream broken tech that might need repairing? I always think like an iPhone with the broken screen, but something that really screams that imagery and put yourself in it so that you can pull that whole idea of tech repairs with you together in the image so you see it right away and you could be like, the broken screen and the kind of thing on an iPhone. But then learn from the things that are connecting. Every time you really show people how to do things like fix the iPhone, which is an expensive phone, and people want to, if it's not working, they're like, oh my God, I've spent so much money on this phone. So learn from that and then start going, try to double down on that content that your channel is telling you performs really well.
He's tapping into stuff that's working, right? His thumbnails look good. He's choosing the right topics there, so people are responding to that. I would keep going with that.
Yeah, I like it. And most of the stuff we're seeing in the top 2 rows, there's a lot of iPhone not charging. There's some other stuff, the Acer Swift. So you learned that when you went with a specific laptop, that one works. So here's another Acer Swift. Again, people look for patterns. When you did this Acer Swift video and you did this Acer Swift video, those two are in your top 10 videos of all time on your channel. iPhone repair takes up a lot of the ones of the top 10 on your channel. So think about when you see those patterns, recognize them, and go, okay, I'm seeing my audience tells me when I do these types of videos, they do well. I should double down for every 1 or 2 other videos I make. I should see if I can come back to a common iPhone problem that people have been searching for answers for and maybe try to drop that. And then get that playlist to put together when we're back on your homepage, common iPhone problems that you can fix yourself, right? That could be a great playlist title, and then put all those different iPhone repair videos in that playlist.
Love that.
Let me see.
A lot of potential on this channel.
Congratulations on what you've done for the amount of subscribers and the amount of views you've driven. I'm going to quickly check. This doesn't always tell us a lot, but you've been here since 2012 by videos. Let me sort by oldest. I just wanted to see when you started putting videos on the channel. 2 years ago. So, 7, right? No, 2. It's 2. I'm reading that right. 2 years ago. So you really didn't get super active till 2 years ago. And then the next one was 7 months. So all of your activity has been very recent. So congratulations on really having success that when you nailed into your niche and took this serious. I can see that once you started getting honed into one singular target audience, people who wanted to learn how to do some tech repairs themselves, you started really gaining ground in that last 7 months is really where it all fell. So really great growth. Stick to it. Just dial it in a little bit more.
And make that video for teaching me how to turn off vibration, even though vibration is turned off, because I need to learn. Somebody make that video.
And how to recognize the right channel name when you're pulling it up. I would like that one as well. You can help both of us out. Anyone in the chat, please throw us a lifeline. This is Eat, Live, Enjoy is the name of the channel. Asked to be pulled up to take a peek. Eat, Live, Enjoy. Let me see if I can find you. Eat, Live, Enjoy. Let's filter this by the channel itself.
Well, while you pull up the channel, I'm going to look in the chat to make sure we got the right channel.
Yeah, this is, let me double check the, it's a picture of, I think it's this one here. Is this right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm looking at it. This is the one. Oh my God,
Okay.
there's like 9,000 eat. We're going to now harass someone who doesn't want any part of our harassment today.
Let's get them.
Okay, here's, D, run with this.
Hold on. Eat, live, enjoy. Eat, live, enjoy. Okay.
Did I say love? Was I saying love? See, I can't read.
Yeah, hold on. Eat, live, enjoy.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a food channel. I love the colors. I love, it's super colorful up at the beginning. The yellow is a little bit hard to read for enjoy. But when I think about eat, I'm not thinking about bottles of spice necessarily.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, scroll down a little bit. Let me see. What are they doing? Yeah, like that's the stuff I want to see in the header. Look at that. Cakes. Yeah, look at that.
Look at
Desserts.
these.
That's eating and living and enjoying right there. Right.
That one's killer.
That looks delicious. Now scroll back up. No.
Yeah.
Right? Like here's some spices, here's some butter, here's some spread cheese, here's some corn and peas. Absolutely.
Some
not.
peppers. Right. And I got to be honest with you. When I first landed here, I almost thought this was paint. I had a paint vibe from this. I was like, is this
I
paint?
did too.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I did too.
It's not screaming. If this is a cooking channel, which I think.
Oh my God, look at all that.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Are these shorts? Are you doing shorts here? Okay. I would tell you, you've got some cool, like some of these images are really good.
Yeah,
some of the
get that
cake
stuff up
images.
there.
That looks. Look, I just scroll it, just hovering and
Yes.
watching them cut this. That's
Yes.
so visually satisfying to me.
Yes.
Love this.
Get
I love
this stuff up in your channel art. Like this is
Yeah.
eating and living and enjoying. Pretty
Yeah,
much
let me-
anything that can give you diabetes, put that up in your channel art.
Yeah, and you're new. I'm looking at all the content you'll have here, and you only have, maybe 25 or so videos. But you're doing a
that
great.
looks so good.
Some of these images are just fantastic. The most popular ones you've been doing are these shorts. Is that the 1 minute chicken? Oh, this is really smart. If these are all going as shorts, that's cool because that's vertical short. That's vertical. I think these are all shorts, and you've driven several thousand. I've said this before. I think music channels, cooking channels, people who are trying to use shorts and figure out how to use shorts into their growth strategy. Shorts is perfect for this because you can do that. There's been so many proven entities like Tasty that did these really quick recipe dumps that were short form that showed people start to finish how to do something really quickly and got right to the end result. Shorts are a perfect place for people like a cooking channel to do a really quick recipe. Just it can be super fast, bang, 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 show it, put it together. That's really visually stimulating like the Tasty channel. But you can at the end say, hey, if you want to learn this entire recipe, link in the description. And you can either put the recipe in the description or better, have a longer form video that actually breaks down the whole process of cooking and getting in and out of the oven and whatever you're making. And then your short can not only drive 3, 4, 5, 6,000 views on its own, but it can then push towards the longer form content that really dives into the whole recipe explanation and takes a little more time with the preparation. So this is a perfect way. I hope some of that stuff you might be doing. I don't know if you are, but you've definitely driven some views to shorts, and I like the titling, the 1 minute chicken Mandy. Is that what it's called? Mandy? Yeah, help me out here.
It is.
So it's really like it explains right there in the title, bang. The one thing I would tell you though, let me tell you this. The one thing I'm seeing is right now I'm looking at your short and it's got a vertical thumbnail, which may just be YouTube pulling it up for shorts. If these are in fact shorts, which is what they look like to me. Shorts when they're served on the short shelf or being viewed in the shorts player, YouTube doesn't show a thumbnail. It picks a thumbnail out of when it's being like rifled through, it just picks a thumbnail as a frame somewhere out of the video. We haven't found the exact spot yet.
I'm glad you said that. Can I pause you for a second? Because I want to ask a question of everyone in the chat right now who is uploading YouTube shorts and they're allowing YouTube to select a thumbnail, or it is ending up in the short shelf and they're selecting the thumbnail there. So Adrian, she said that all of her shorts are being grabbed with the actual image with text on it. So
Really?
she's finding that YouTube is grabbing the thumbnail when she's having large blocks of text in all of hers. And I saw Nick uploaded a short, and the same exact thing happened to him. So I'm curious if those of you in the chat who are getting your thumbnails grabbed by YouTube, are you finding that it's grabbing areas, grabbing a frame with large amounts of text in it, like a big bold area of text if you have text in the video? If so, type in yes if you're putting text in there and that's what you're finding. Because that would be an interesting thing if that's what they're looking at.
Yeah, years ago, before there were custom thumbnails, YouTube used to just grab a specific frame from the videos. And actually, the early content creators used to actually figure out which frame they were grabbing it from. And they'd intentionally make sure a certain thing happened in the video at that point so that they'd have a good-looking thumbnail. And they changed a few times over the years, and they finally let us start making custom thumbnails. We haven't quite figured out where they're grabbing from, if it's consistent, or if it's just trying to find certain things in the video, much like it does when you first upload a regular video. You'll see YouTube will do screen grabs from like 4 spots across the video that it thinks might represent the video. I have a feeling that's what it's doing, but I've seen some really funky thumbnail choices from YouTube. But the thing I was trying to tell you, if this makes sense, you have the ability to go back in, even if you uploaded this short from the actual Shorts camera on mobile, if you have it, or if you uploaded it otherwise, just traditionally, you still have the ability to make a full-size 16:9 custom thumbnail. It just won't show on the short shelf. It'll show up in places like if I come to your channel. It'll show up in places like if it's served in search, if it's searched in browse, if it's served in suggested. So instead of having these huge black bars and all this dead real estate, wasted prime real estate, however you upload your short, go back afterwards and make sure that because your shorts are going to show up right in your videos tab along with all your other content. Put a custom thumbnail, a 16:9 thumbnail, so that these really look, when they're served outside of the shorts player, that they have all the full real estate of your thumbnail, and you'll have a little more opportunity to make a really strong thumbnail that connects.
So they grabbed the text on that one too, on that thumbnail.
I'm seeing
and then
text.
2 over, they grabbed the text on that one. They grabbed the text on the one next to that. So that might be something that they're looking at, if it's text that they can identify.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that and see if we can find some patterns. There's got to be something. They're not going to tell us, so we'll have to, as a community, I'll pay attention to what's going on. Yeah. But I like what you're doing here. Work on the channel art, get that dialed in, scream the value. I like that you have your channel name up here, but let's talk about getting the value proposition up here, and let's get some of those great pictures of things that you've made up there as well. But good start. You're brand new. You've driven some solid views on these shorts. Shorts are working for you. Longer form isn't driving the same amount of views. So again, if you were doing, if you had like one of these videos that I was hovering over and you showed like slicing the cake and putting the cake together, if you had that longer form one, I might even go in, take that video, take the audio right out of it, get a song from like the YouTube audio library where it's royalty free and you can use on the platform, do some quick edits from like pan, pour, oven, out, slice, layer icing, stack, decoration, boom.
Super fast editing. Head over to TikTok. Go to TikTok. Look at recipes. Look at how they're making recipes over on TikTok. It's blazing fast, but it's super interesting to watch.
Yeah. And then you could have, if you had a 15-second video that had text at the end that might say, want to learn this entire recipe, link in the description. And then you can funnel people back to long form content. I've done that on my channel really effectively. It's very easy to become the highest recommending video to other content that you're trying to bring attention to. And because you have so many that are right around that couple hundred views, 150 to 200 views, you could really bring some attention by grabbing like that great pineapple cake one. This was so good. If you could somehow edit that down to a cool short and make it look really powerful, and then full recipe, click on the link in the description. And then someone who really loved it when that was an awesome, I loved watching them put that cake together so fast, but I really would like to make the cake. That longer form content is right there. Be your own best recommended. Make sure you're pushing viewers towards more of your own content. Let's see. Who else do we have in the chat? I hope that was helpful. I've got the Aussie V8. Wow, the Aussie VHS Thrifter. There's another name. That's another name. It's not.
It is.
It is a name.
Aussie VHS Thrift. Yeah. So I'm envisioning someone who's collecting VHS tapes.
Okay, yeah, let's see if we could figure out what it is before we go there, because I think messaging is important, as we've talked about. So the Aussie, he's from Australia.
From Australia.
He collects old VHS tapes and machines.
And resells them. and
Maybe he
resells
resells them. Let's see what he's got.
Maybe machines and tapes. Yeah, let's see.
Okay, I hope this is the correct Aussie VHS. How many could there be? You've got every font in the world going on here. I get what you're trying to do with the Hollywood and everything. It's so much. It's hard for me to distinguish what this is.
He's trying to go with a bit of a retro vibe, but it's too busy.
I get it. It's too much retro. I would have probably found that one retro font. It almost looks like you went to cooltext.com and tried every one of their different cool text free downloads and put them up on your channel art.
You went there and just said yes.
Yeah, I'll take all of it. Everything from yes. Give me one of each.
Yes.
What would you like to taste? Would you like an appetizer? Yes, all of them.
Yes.
Again, I would, if you have the ability to put a link in your channel art, so let's, why not do it and put an auto subscribe link here and subscribe for more, or subscribe for, whatever it is that the value is here. Get this dialed in. I'm seeing, okay.
Robbie Hollywood, I don't think that's not necessary up there.
Yeah, because it's the Aussie VHS Thrifter. I think that it should have been the Aussie VHS Thrifter maybe up here in one font, and then the value proposition underneath it of what it is you're doing. Let me see what we got here. What's on the mystery VHS tape? So maybe he's grabbing VHS tapes. Kiss Alive.
Oh my goodness. The Kiss album review, Kiss Alive from 1974. Fun story about Kiss. So when I was a kid, my life revolved around Kiss and Star Wars. When I was a kid. So one of the best pictures I have of me as a kid, I'm sitting on a bunk bed. I was always in the top bunk. Nick was always in the bottom bunk. And I've got Kiss posters and Star Wars posters. I have Star Wars bed sheets, and I've got an orange 8-track player with Kiss. I got a Kiss, 8-track in it. I want to blow that up and just put that on my wall because, not much has changed. Not much has changed in 40-something years.
Yeah, I feel you.
Kiss Army for life, man. That's all I'm saying.
Kiss was that band that made everyone feel like I could be a musician. I could do this. Mystery videos, Kiss album reviews. I'm having a little trouble. Uploads, again, it doesn't just tell me anything. I would lose that. Hack and Shash, am I reading that right? TV horror review show. I'm having a lot of trouble understanding what this channel's about. Come Thrift. So is it more of a thrift? Is that what it is? You're out a thrift store shopping or something like that and finding cool finds? Thrift store finds? Is that the value proposition? If that's it, if this is the Aussie, okay, because it's thrifter, because I think the VHS threw me off. I thought I expected everything to be VHS, but you've got albums in here, you've got other stuff in here, horror show stuff. So maybe it's, I probably would have said, just on the outside, and listen, I might be missing a point here, that you could lose this and be like the Aussie Thrifter, and then the Aussie Thrifter, and you're something that's like your thrift store adventurer or renegade or something, and it really spoke to you're someone who's out there going to all the thrift stores and finding all this cool stuff, and then made it about the finds that you were getting out there. But if it's very specific collectible things. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's part of it. You have to be a Kiss fan to find vintage Kiss stuff, but it doesn't all seem to stay true to that. So if I'm someone who's really into Kiss, not nearly as much as Dee is clearly.
Just I want to rock and roll every day and thrift every night.
So this Kiss album reviews doesn't make sense with mystery videos to me. So again, the alignment here is what I tell you, Mr. Aussie VHS Thrifter, is be very clear about what the value is and try to double down on it so that you're delivering the same sort of value to people every week. And if it is that sort of going out and exploring different thrift stores and showing these cool finds that you found at different thrift stores, then those can vary. I can understand that because, and I think you'll find that over time, if that's what it is, there's going to be certain thrift store things that people really relate to because they love finding certain things. And I think that your audience will tell you which things they more enjoy when you discover them in thrift stores, or if that's what this is. Again, I'm having trouble finding the value in here. But definitely double down on the things, a lot of the times I'll go onto YouTube and I'll start looking up things if that's what this is, a thrift store, a guy who goes out and finds things at thrift stores, really cool things that, one man's junk is another man's treasure kind of thing. I'd probably put that I'd put thrift store finds into YouTube search and then see who's popping up for videos and see which is really performing high and how they're making content and try to really learn from other people in your niche that might be doing a similar thing and go, how are they doing it? What are they focusing on? What are the titles they're using? How are they making their thumbnails? And what topics are they talking about when it comes to being a thrifter? I really feel out of my element. If I'm a little off track here, I apologize.
Let's just talk about Kiss. Let's just talk about Kiss. And call
We're
it a
better
day.
off thinking. But again, you can see how I'm wrestling a bit because you haven't made it easy for me to understand the value of this channel. It makes it harder for me to give you the kind of advice that would make a lot of sense because you're moving all over the place with some of these titles, and then it's like talking S live, every thumbnail is identical. This is another thing too. You have these identical. If you're gonna leave them up for replay, I always say, man, if you're gonna make a lives you can leave up there for replay that you want someone to watch later on, try to differentiate them. If they're the exact same looking thumbnails, if I saw one and it's only a slight difference, and I look at it, I would say, oh, I already watched that live stream. It's hard for me to understand why I would watch another one. So make sure content that you put up there that you expect people to watch in the replay has value and is built and packaged in a way that people will find the value in it, and not just have it all generically labeled up there like, milk, 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 milk. Hey, look, more milk. Like, because I don't know the difference. I don't know. I have trouble as a new viewer realizing why I would want to watch any of these and then differentiating one from the other. Come thrift with us with thrift.me. So maybe it's an online thrift thing you're doing.
He said his
thrift.me?
passion for Kiss is why he started adding Kiss videos.
Okay. That's cool, man. Your passion for Kiss is awesome, but do the people you're trying to reach have a passion for Kiss? Because I think it's important to make sure that you put the needs of the audience first, and not to the exclusion of the needs of the creator. But I think you have to put the majority of the focus when you're trying to grow a channel into what are the needs of the viewer? Why would they watch your content? Why would they come back for more? And if you start derailing why they would come back for more, going, well, yeah, I know I'm about thrifting and going out there, but I love Kiss, so I'm going to talk about Kiss.
Right.
Well, then you're going to risk having that fragment your audience who were really in there for the thrifting part and didn't care as much about Kiss. So just be careful. Find ways to work this in. Finding cool old Kiss albums while you're out thrifting could be something that makes sense on your channel. Make sure it stays true to the value proposition, right? Cool classic Kiss albums we found at the thrift store, and then, but do you need an entire playlist where you're going on and reviewing the album? Are you an album review channel, or are you a thrift store find channel? Or again, I'm having trouble knowing exactly what this is, but I hope that makes sense. Try to get it into some alignment.
Paul Stanley just released a new album, by the way, unrelated to Kiss.
Oh, they just keep at it. They just keep at it. How much merch will come out with that new album?
I don't know.
Did
Did you see their show that they just played in Dubai for New Year's? It was like the biggest pyrotechnic show that's ever been made. They played it in Dubai. It was enormous.
That's nuts.
With no audience. There was no audience except for just a couple people.
Gene Simmons is the master of marketing. There's nothing he wouldn't stick that Kiss brand name onto. Do you ever see the Kiss caskets? They sell Kiss caskets. You can actually bury yourself in a Kiss casket.
highlight of my younger life. I had a chance to meet Gene Simmons at the NAMM show out in California when I was like 19, and he was such a gentleman. When we took pictures and we stuck out our tongues, he let my tongue be longer in the picture because he was so nice. And then I lost the picture. So
oh no! Oh,
yeah, man, it was like as an adult, it's like if you could have one thing from your childhood, like what would it be? It'd be that picture with Gene Simmons.
Yeah,
total gentleman. There, really nice dude.
There's, when we were all younger, not to go on a tangent here, but yeah, it's not like today where we have our cell phones and everything can be filmed, which is a good thing. My God, if there was everything that I ever did in my life was actually caught on video or pictures, I'd be probably in jail right now. But
we'd be sharing a cell. We'd be sharing a cell.
I can remember coming off stage, playing on stage with Cheap Trick and standing there with the band. Someone shot the snapshots of like me and Rick Nielsen, laughing it up together and posing, mugging for the camera. I don't know. I was never given it. I was like, hey, could you send, I'm coming off stage. Could you send me that picture? It wasn't back in the day where we would just pull a camera out of our pocket, and so many pictures just lost, just don't exist.
Times have changed.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Hey, I want to let everybody know who's in here. There's 175 people in here that Nick Nimmin is going live on the StreamYard channel, this channel, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. You do not want to miss that. You do not. I don't know what he's going to talk about, but he's going to bring massive value. So make sure you're here at 9 a.m. Eastern for Nick's live stream.
Yeah, anything that Nick does is filled with value. I think most of you guys out there probably know Nick. If you don't, please make sure you check out his channel.
It is, unless it's text messages that he sends me, then those are not value.
Was that him blowing up your buttocks?
I had to sit on my phone because it kept vibrating here on the desk.
Yeah, like you didn't enjoy it. Hey, listen, we're getting a little along in the tooth here today, and I have to run up to do a channel consultation. So, Dee, I want to thank you for putting this together, hosting this stream with me today, and doing all the hard, heavy lifting that I apparently don't have the ability to do. So, thank you very much, my friend.
You did all the lifting, my friend. Thanks for joining me. And I want to say, I know we couldn't get to everyone's channel, so this is a monthly thing for us. So come back next month. Try to get in here early. I know some of you came in late, and we couldn't get to everybody. But we do have our own live streams as well over on our own channels. Links to both of our channels are down in the description. We occasionally do channel reviews over there. We also have our own channel memberships where we have private Facebook groups where we can look at your channels there as well. So we'd love to have you in our communities if you're not part of it already. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for allowing us to look at your channels. Daniel, thanks for joining me. StreamYard, thank you for allowing us to take over your channel. That was probably not a great idea, but you gave us the keys.
And if you have not tried live streaming with StreamYard, please, links are down below. You can go on, sign up for StreamYard today for free, and make a stream that looks exactly like the kind of stream we're making right here today, being able to pull up images and change the backgrounds and do all this using a very simple online-based service that really brings the functionality, live streaming, simple, easy, no heavy lifting, no steep learning curves. StreamYard.com. Definitely give it a try if you haven't.
Right, and if you have questions about YouTube channel or YouTube specific questions, you can come back and ask those questions in the comments after this live stream processes. We're not going to be doing channel reviews there, but if you have specific questions like how can I do this, how can I do that, we will come back and answer those questions as well. So thank you for joining us. Thank you, Daniel, and we'll see everybody next month if we don't see you somewhere else before.
Sweet.
Cheers.